time in between the season and the draft, or before moving up at any level, is some of the most valuable in a hooper's lifespan. Putting in time to work on details, improving weaknesses, and adding polish pays off. That's a fact. For Iverson Molinar, he's catapulted off of a strong 3 years at Mississippi State to making some noise onto draft boards. Originally from Panama, Iverson fills out the resume as a lightning-fast 3-level scorer who can run an offense and ignite a lineup. Beyond his namesake, AI himself, Penny sees a hard-nosed player who blends athleticism, skill, and IQ, the triple threat. Iverson's best attribute, which is the ultimate for any hooper, is to adjust his game based on his roster and role. As a pro, that matters most as you work to establish yourself at the highest level. While he's definitely not an overnight success, Iverson's been hiding in plain sight. And for us basketball lovers, we're about to discover a good one real soon. It's the 2 Cents Podcast. Remember, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts to get every episode as soon as we drop them. And now, here's Iverson Molinar.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the My 2 Cents Podcast. I have a special guest, Iverson Molinar. Said Iverson? Yeah. Got named after AI. Let's talk about this story.
Man, when I was in Panama, my dad was a big fan of, Allen Iverson. So, my middle name is Latrell too. So,
with Spree and AI. That's tough.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was. He's a big basketball fan. So, he named me after Iverson and then Latrell Sprewell. So, that's where my name came from.
So, we said Panama City, Panama. I don't know a lot of basketball players from Panama City. How did you choose Panama? Because I'm sure that's not the first sport.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is not the first sport.
No, it's not. It's baseball. It's baseball and soccer. So, I stuck with basketball because my whole family, hoops. My dad, he lives basketball. He watched it at 24 hours, 24 hours a day. I also had my uncle, he was, a little involved. He played basketball. My mom was a big fan of basketball, even though she played volleyball in the States. And, I always saw a ball, man. I always saw a basketball. So, I stuck with basketball at the end, even though I played soccer till I was 12.
That's awesome, man, because you have a great game. You really do. I played you straight up. Memphis played Mississippi State, and I played them straight up.
No. We ain't playing straight up. We gotta show them some videos. We gotta watch some film.
But no, I did. I double teamed them. Honestly, I was watching film, and we'll talk about how you got to Mississippi State. Mm-hmm. But we got to the championship game of the NIT against these guys last year, and I was like, there's no way I can play him straight up. But the way that he played the game, he and DJ Stewart both were – this tandem there was like, I was like, we got to limit their touches, limit their shots, and we had 3 people guarding him the entire game, and we luckily won. But I think if I would have played him straight up, it would have been a terrible night for me. So that's kudos to you, though, for having to double and triple team you in that game. Did you even think that we would do that to you?
Nah. We just, we kind of had an idea that, we were kind of like, coming off the screens, probably like just double, but not like as soon as, we crossed half court. It was tough, man. Like, I had a game plan on the second half. I was like, man, let's try to just, walk out the ball, see what was the game plan. But like, as soon as I crossed, you kind of just made me, force me to like pass the ball, not even to DJ, just like to other people. And we just kind of let the other players play. We were trying to like, tell them to like make plays, even though they were like freshmen. We had like, Cameron Matthews, Davon Smith. They were freshmen. It was the first time experiencing that. So. It was a tough game. It was a tough game, learning experience, and it was I watched a lot of film after that game. So
yeah, I just watching you because I only didn't just prepare for that game. Mm-hmm. I watched you guys play all season.
Yeah,
and you did a fantastic job, man, of just changing pace, changing levels, scoring the basketball in the SEC, and doing it on the highest level. Mm-hmm. So let's go back a little bit. Mm-hmm. What made you go to Mississippi State? How did you get to Mississippi State from Panama City?
So, man, my journey was a little long. I was transferring from high school to high school. I don't know if you remember, but, we played y'all when Jace Weissman was in high school, and then we played him in the Classic. And I went to Covenant Christian Ministries Academy. Yep. And I don't know if you knew, but, I had a good game in that game.
How did I not remember that game?
Okay, cool. But I had
I'm saying, like, I'm just talking about it now. I'm looking at it now like, wow, I remember this.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah. So from there I went to prep school in LA. I went to Veritas Prep, and I did like a semester there. And then after I went to Mississippi State. But I went to Mississippi State because, it felt like family. You know, even, you know, one of the assistant coaches, you know, the one that recruited me, went to Panama and saw my family. And I feel like that meant a lot. You know, I feel like, you know, he really wanted like to help me. He really just wanted to see my background and everything, know my family, and it was a cool experience, man. And then I told him, like, you know, well, I'm gonna go to Mississippi State. Even, you know, they play in the SEC, so it's one of the top, or if not the top league in conference in the States.
So what did you build on in the 3 years that you were there? Like when you first went there to where you are now, what did you build on to get to this point?
Coming out of high school, I was more of a scorer. Like I didn't have like a point guard mentality. I couldn't switch up. Like I couldn't go from the 1 to the 2. You know, I was just pure scorer. You know, shoot. You know, get to the basket easy, blow by my man. You know, I feel like my first year I kind of had like you know, my back against the wall because, you know, it's a learning experience. You know, and you know, they taught me a lot. You know, they taught me how to, you know, the mental part of the game, which, you know, I didn't have in high school. And I feel like, you know, so from my freshman year to my sophomore year, I think I shot I did shoot from 3-point line 37%. And then from my sophomore year, you know, I increased it to like a 42.
That's awesome.
And
awesome
of course, you know, that was one of my main focus from my freshman year to sophomore year, and then even be a playmaker too. And from this year, from my sophomore year to my junior year, you know, be a playmaker, you know, averaging more assists because, you know, I had the ball in my hands a lot this year.
Yeah, just the mindset from going from freshman to sophomore to junior year. What is the mindset now from stepping from that to going to the NBA?
Just I feel like, you know, getting a little bit more comfortable shooting the, you know, the deep three. You know, from the college 3-point line to the NBA, you know, it's a, you know, step back, and I feel like, you know, I did it my freshman year to my sophomore year. So, you know, I'm just preparing for that, you know, and just I feel like the pace in the NBA is a little bit more. I feel like college, you know, it's like a lot of up and back, up, down, and I feel like in the NBA, you know, it's like that, but it's like more pace, like a little bit more pace in the speed. So, you know, I'm watching a lot of games and just picking up on that.
So are you willing to sprint the floor when you don't have the ball and push pace when you have the ball? If I'm a team, if I'm a team and I say, hey, are you willing to adjust your role?
I'm willing.
You don't have it? You know, I'm sorry for keeping interrupting, but go ahead.
No, I'm willing. You know, I'm the type of player that, you know, that wants to win. And I know, like, you know, if a coach tells me, you know, what to do on the court, it's, you know, it's to help the team win. So, like, I'm willing to push the ball. I'm willing to run the floor. I'm willing to run to that corner, you know, whenever I'm sprinting my lane. And, you know, I'm willing to do that.
I think humility is big from when somebody's going to say, we're going to put millions of dollars into you and we're going to trust you. The humility of a player definitely, especially if you can play like you can play, it definitely wins guys over. So it's great to have that attitude because you can't say, no, I want to play this spot.
Yeah.
When somebody's saying, hey, we might need you to do this, that's no good on the next level. You have to be humble and then say that I'm willing to do whatever you need me to do. Now, as a competitor, you go to these camps with these guys. What are you willing to show the league as a competitor that this is how I'm going to separate myself from the rest of these guys?
I mean, like, you know, like I told you, you know, I'm a winner. You know, I win. You know, of course, if I lose it, no, it's a learning experience. But, you know, I just want to win, man. I want to win. You know, I want to compete. And I feel like that's one of my, you know, best attributes that I got. You know, I just, you know, want to get to on the court. Once I step on the lines, like, you know, it's competition. And when I compete, it's, you know, I just go hard, man, real hard.
What about being a young guy? Or you think you could go and be a leader?
Yeah, I can go. I did it this year. That's something I learned my junior year too. You know, I had a freshman. His name was it's Cam Carter, and he was from Louisiana. And I felt like I took him under my wing. You know, I told him, you know, what to do. You know, because I saw myself in him my freshman year. So, you know, I was just telling him, you know, what to do and, you know, how to deal with you know, the pressure once you get that one good game against Alabama, and then the next game, what you got to do. You know, just kind of just let the game come to you. And you know, I like to lead, man. I like to lead. I like to be vocal. You know, I like to, you know, when I see little stuff, you know, I want to like speak up and say it.
Yeah, and that's all big because you can't be quiet. I know that you always have to respect your veterans.
Yeah.
But they do respect that you have a voice.
Yeah.
And you're coming in saying, hey, if I see something, I want to say something. And those qualities, as long as it's not cocky, they'll applaud that.
Yeah.
You know, they definitely will applaud that.
Let's take a break and talk about our good friends at Mack Weldon. It's heating up outside, and when it comes to stylish essentials perfect for the hotter days ahead, there's no better option than Mack Weldon. From hanging out at home to that much-needed vacation, the conference room to happy hour, they've got you covered. Their innovative daily wear system takes the guesswork out of getting dressed, even for the most indecisive of guys. And guys, take a look at your closet. As we head into summer, I guarantee you're gonna need to make a few additions. There's no better place than Mack Weldon. Mack Weldon's premium polos easily elevate your plans with fabric technology they've built in to keep you comfortable as the temperature rises. Their lightweight silver piqué polo and new super soft Pima t-shirt polo are great for summer. You can wear them everywhere, and the Maverick Tech Chino short and Radius Flex short are perfect for that wardrobe upgrade. 2 other must-haves for the season, and by the season I mean beach season or pool season, whatever body of water you prefer. Check out their board shorts and swim trunks, a combo of performance, stretch, and slick design. They're great gear for when you're taking time off or just kicking it. So check out Mack Weldon for yourself and save 20% on your first order. Visit mackweldon.com/penny and enter the promo code PENNY. Again, that's mackweldon.com/penny. Enter the promo code PENNY for 20% off. Stock up on the warm weather essentials you've been missing.
So we're going to look at some of your film, and we're going to talk about some things that on the synergy that you might have done a higher percentage at, or a lower percentage at on the college level, but it might adjust on the next level. So we'll go ahead and start the tape. So I see you waiting on the ball right here. So that jog might have to turn into a sprint. And I know you're playing against one of the better defensive teams in the country because Virginia, that pack line defense.
Yeah.
So to me, transition is big. And Kihei is a smaller guard. You know, he's small. You might get more length, but if we go back, as soon as you go to get this ball on the next level, I'm telling you, instead of turning this into a drag, it might just have been just push the ball at him, full court, making DJ Jeffries get to the corner. Hey, get to the corner, making Cameron get to the Mook get to the corner and spacing. So you might be flying the ball up the court. You might be telling DJ, get there. You might cross over and tell Cam to get there. But it's just about change of pace. And I see they were trying to set a pick for you to get open in the backcourt because they picked you up earlier. But everything might not turn into this. It might have to be this sometimes. Obviously, they're trying to get the ball out of your hands, right? You might have to be okay with that early pass, that short roll and early pass to the big on the next level, and then letting them make the play. Because obviously you had a bigger responsibility at Mississippi State to score the basketball. So it'll be multiple ways for you to do that. Now, it's push again, push pace. You just got to steal. You took it to the corner. I see you guys ran a lot of drag screens in the NBA, at Mississippi State. It might just be straight line drive and create for a shooter. You got to be able to find those shooters. But you did what you had to do at Mississippi State to make it work. On the next level, it might be different.
So you're saying it might be different, but like how different, like, you know, the ball screens are like drag screens and
it might not be drag.
It might not be drag.
Pushing pace to get to the paint.
Okay. All right.
That brings the defense in and that creates opportunities for your shooters.
All right.
And when you go get it, and I know how your mindset was at State because they had to get you to score. They were setting ball screens for you in transition. Kind of free you up. That's the way to attack the big off that ice. See how he tried to ice you? You just got around him with explosion and then a nice little floater. Shot making. You took tough shots, made tough shots. You ran a little bluff screen. You snaked it. All right, go back. That's what we talked about earlier. When you snake this, you got to be tighter. See how you gave him that inside? What was that, Tulu?
Nah, that's Garrison.
Okay, that's Garrison. Okay.
Yeah, that's Garrison, yeah.
So you should have been closer to Garrison.
Yeah.
It's okay because you still made it work. You kept it in your left hand longer. And then when you got to your space and you put your right hand on it. There. But you could have killed that by Garrison tighter. That's what we worked on today.
Yeah.
And that's just little bitty stuff. But you were so good at what you did that you just still were able to create, which is IQ, to keep it in the left hand long enough to get it to the right. Good change of pace. You did that well. That's what I was saying. I was seeing you do this. Change your pace, change the levels. Came off, and then you did the hezzy. Then you sped up. Freeze Kobe on that play. Yeah, so let's look at the percentages of the of what he did during the year, where most of his points came from, or his opportunities. So we're gonna go and look at the percentages of what you did pick and roll. Can you get to that? Versus spot up. I think you had very minimal spot ups. So pick and roll was your top. Transition was second. Spot up was third. So that might change from pick and roll ball handler. Yeah. That 30%. Well, they might have the ball in your hands. So it might go higher. Yeah. And then transition has got to be higher. And then spot ups is probably going to be higher. I think off the screen, pin downs and things of that nature, ISOs, those are going to go away in the beginning. You might just be transition and spot up. And if they start giving you responsibilities with pick and roll, then you're going to have to protect the ball and be a high assist-to-turnover ratio. Do you know who the number one guard is in the NBA at assist-to-turnover ratio that comes off the bench? Tyus Jones. Okay. He has a very high turnover-to-assist ratio coming off the bench. You know who's number two? Trey Jones, his brother. It's crazy. The brothers are number one and number two coming off the bench in efficiency. So when they give you the opportunity to go into pick and rolls, you have to handle that thing with care. You really do. You have to handle it with care. So just looking at what you had to do in college, you did great. Going to the next level, you got to be ready for everything. But really, you don't get it, you're out of there. Yeah. When you do get it, it's popping out to get that ball and pushing pace. They want to get up and down. They don't want you to jog it up and go into that. You don't have to do that because you got so many good players around you. Throw it ahead some, trail the play or cut opposite, or push the ball, find your shooters, and then re-space. Okay. And then if you don't get it, you're the first one out of there getting to those corners for spacing. But you did a hell of a job just looking at the numbers at Mississippi State, but you said you're willing to do whatever it takes to get to the next level in these combine and in summer league. Those are the things that you're definitely going to be asked to do. In some league, they might make you a scorer again. They might make you the guy to say, hey, high volume pick and roll, go score it. And then they might say, okay, we move you over as a combo. Now you go combo. I mean, combo, we have you score, but when you're at the point, we want you to push and find people. So that's the next level, man. Anything else? Yeah, we could do spot ups because that's going to be big. Yeah. Knocking spot up shots at a high percentage. You're not going to get double teamed on the next level like this, so it should make your game easier. And the floor is going to be more space. But everything is going to go from, if you go back, everything's going to go from that jog to once you pass that ball, sprint to space. The last play that we just saw, dribbling up. The last one we saw, dribbling up. He got the double team. He got rid of it because they're going to double and get the ball out of your hands. Yeah. On the league, you give that ball up, it's sprinting out to that three. See how you're jogging right now? They can't leave you open. They can't leave you open. Good job of splitting that two and getting it to that area. And then another thing that you might have to do is cut when you don't have the shot. Like say if the star player's getting double teamed, they might tell you to cut. We call it burn. Yeah. Might tell you to burn some. Get layups. See, that's where guys on your level That's what they get. If you go back, you weren't asked to really do everything at top speed.
Yeah.
You had to play a lot of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You had to do everything in shoulder to load.
Yeah.
Like this dribble handoff, that's cool to jog into it.
Mm-hmm.
You did the cross screen, and then you came back out strong side.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back out strong side in the league is a sprint. Now you play out of the closeout.
Yeah.
It's just your ability to score is so amazing that you're able to get away with that and still do it. But on the next level, everybody's longer, faster, quicker. If you jog out there and they close out on you better, and then they play your first move, now it's going to make you have to go at that speed every time. So that's why when we trained today, we were like, let's get the speeds up, the game speed. So every time you do something, you pass, you're relocating fast. You hit the guy on the pick and pop, you're relocating fast. You're coming off a screen, you're relocating fast. So everything is going to be top speed. But overall, you're starting at a great spot. Starting at a very great spot. And then in college, you have to chase to go get the ball.
Yeah.
In the league, it's just going to be more about spacing and shot making. All right, we're good on the film. But overall, man, just watching your career, to see you advance every year, because obviously you're close enough to us for us to see. Watched a lot of games. You did a phenomenal job at being what they needed you to be. You know, at the school, you had to score, you had to make plays, you had to rebound, you had to do everything. Next level, you might not be asked to do as much when you get with the vets, but in training camp and the combine, you are.
Yeah.
So continue to just be who you are. Dominate it from a point of view of every area. Defensively, picking up 94 feet. When the ball comes off, push pace. Yeah. Push pace and just keep doing that.
So biggest adjustment for you going from college to the NBA?
I think the strength and the speed.
Strength and speed.
Yeah, strength and speed. When I first went in, I was small. I was 6'7", like 190, 195. I was fast. The guys tried to beat me up, but that was a different era because they tried to, you can hand check. But now I can see it being the same thing because it's still some physicality, especially the more you get to the playoffs, they're not going to call as many fouls, and the guards are going to try to beat you up. But for me, it was the speed of the game, playing at a higher speed, because you got to show the coaches that you're serious about what you're doing. And then the physicality, you got to mix it up. You got to get in there, go rebound. You got to play physical, fighting over screens, don't get screened. So your big man don't even have to come into play because they're switching everything. So, no, coach, I don't need to switch. If I could keep you on your matchup, that makes our team better. One of the best I ever seen do it was Derek Fisher. Now in this era, it's Drew Holiday. He's not going to let Brooks Lopez get on Steph Curry. He's fighting that, fighting over that. He's getting it. So don't allow yourself to be screened. Don't allow yourself to just switch easy because you can't fight over it. And then it's the speed of the game. Those two things were big for me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, what was the lifestyle out of the court? Like off the court? Like,
you have to be disciplined.
Discipline?
You have to be disciplined because there's so many distractions, especially in today's era. And if you get with a group of guys that like to party, you got to be strong enough to go with the guys. But say I have a limit. I'm not, because I never drank and I never smoked. So I never had the peer pressure, let the peer pressure of what the guys did get to me. So I was just solid. I mean, I wasn't perfect, but I didn't drink and smoke. So when we went out, I was the guy that was making sure everybody was good. And then it's time. We go together, we leave together. Type of dude. So you're going to get those pressures. And then sometimes you got to be like, I got to lock in. You know, we had an injury to the vet. I know I'm starting tomorrow. Man, I can't go out tonight. And they got to respect that. You can't go, oh, man, now you ain't going to mess with us because – you know, you starting tomorrow. It's kind of a fine line. It really is. You gotta really be smart and not fall into that peer pressure.
One more question. So what do you do off the court to prepare for games? Like, you know, do you meditate? Do you read books? You just got yourself locked in? How you got yourself locked in?
I watch film. I watch film of myself and I watch film of my opponent because I want to know his strengths and weaknesses. Because my job is to force him to his weaknesses the entire game. Not let him get to his strength one time during the game. And then for me, it's to get to my strengths the entire game. So I'm not settling for anything. I'm not taking bad shots. As a rookie, the worst thing that you can do is come in and start taking bad shots. That's for the vets. I got to take quality shots. I got to get up and play defense. But I got to study. If I study, then I'm going to be ahead of the game.
Okay. Yeah. That's it, man.
Again, my man, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Much success to you. You got a bright future ahead of you. I guarantee that. And just keep listening to the bets and keep working hard, and you'll be okay. Again, My 2 Cents Podcast. Peace.